a company that makes a shoe that has a patented sole, which has a specific shock absorption system, what would be the opportunity?
Health benefits.
Yes, health benefits. So I'll do it for you. So the opportunity is, and I just make it up, that people over 65 years old, 20% of them complain of some sort of knee pain. So 20% of the male over 65 years old have knee pain. Therefore, what you do is you design a shoe which you call whatever, which is specialized in having providing benefits that reduce knee pain. And then what you do is you find some kind of professor, researcher that's going to do some study where people are going to use all kinds of different brand of shoes. And this study will, the result of this study will be that this shoe, that particular brand of shoe, provided a relief. And then so you can write, you can state, well, what's written just right there. Let me go back to it. So what's stated just right there is in a 2017 double-blind study by Olive View UCLA Medical Center, people felt a relief of their knee pain. So 85% of the people felt a relief of their knee pain. 85%, that's a lot. If 85% of the people who have pain buy these shoes and have some sort of relief, less pain, I mean, it's pretty close to a miracle, to be honest. So large number of people have knee pain, that's an opportunity. That G-Defy reduces pain for 85% of the people, what is that? That's a strength. So this company has this strength. But then, how would this connect with the opportunity of the grounded shoes? How would it connect? It's funny, this company is from Pacoima, so that's not very far from Northridge. It's right next to Northridge. This company started in Pacoima and that is advertising all throughout the USA. How would this company be connected to the project that we're working on? How would it connect?
I mean, it correlates directly because it's solving the problem of the knee pain in older adults.
Yes, what do you mean? That's correct. So, but it's, I think you're giving the answer, but you're not, it's not too clear. It's confusing. What do you mean exactly?
Like the shoes technology, the sole or whatever is making it more comfortable, relieves the knee pain. But I mean, it's directly going back to the opportunity that you stated.
Yeah. So the opportunity is a large number of people over 65 have knee pain. And the product is relieving knee pain. And I'm just guessing that the people that would want to buy this product could be young or could be old, but there are people that have knee pain. I mean, who's most likely to have knee pain? Young people or old people?
Well, I was going to say, this actually reminds me a lot of the Shape Ups by Skechers,
Yes.
which was something that my dad was actually a huge fan of because he's worked construction his whole life. So
Yes.
they super helped with like his knee and back pain. And he's, you know, he's in his 50s, but he wore them in his 40s. So I would say this is probably aimed towards an older crowd.
Yes. So I would imagine you're right. This is not young people. So people over 40 probably. And so then you wonder, okay, so people over 40, what's the benefit of the grounded shoes? So you have to find some kind of medical testimony, or what's the benefit of the earthing shoes? So the benefit of the earthing shoes is the fact that you relieve some of the stress and the sort of the negative energy that you may keep in your body by not releasing it, by keeping your feet isolated from the ground. So now this has a sole that sort of helps with your knee pain because of the way it deals with how you put your feet and the way it deals on how your feet get to absorb the ground. You could imagine that if, in addition, this brand, beyond, you see, it says here, enjoy the benefit of G-Defy. So it's ultimate comfort, renewed energy, maximum protection, improved posture, and then you could have another check mark, which will be, the benefit of their grounded shoes. I guess you could say, oh, we could add this benefit to every shoe, but then you have to make some kind of argument of why would the people buy this shoe? The people will buy this shoe because they're looking for a medical benefit. They're not trying to be beating records or running faster and all this. It's the medical benefit. So looking for brands that have to do with the medical benefit is more connected with the earthing shoes. If these brands are obviously shoes, it's even more of a direct connection. But if these brands are selling clothing that offer medical benefit, helping you with your posture or something like this. But then, so that's what you're trying to look for, is you're looking for at what are the benefits of grounded shoes? What are the other brands out there that we could make some kind of connection? And then you find a story for that connection. So obviously, I'm not asking you to quickly pitch your own personal connection, because I know some of you have already found some connections and you don't want to leak to everybody what the story you found. But I wanted to bring this one because I think it's just an example of a brand that shows the impact that the ground has on your joint and all of this. So it's sort of in its own way, a shoe that is very compatible, I think, with the mentality or the aspects of the grounded shoes, where you could make some kind of combination. But again, I'm going to repeat this several times today. It may not be the brand that you will eventually make the connection with. Doesn't have to be a brand that is specific on shoes. Obviously, that's the most natural one, but it doesn't have. I mean, if you were to say, maybe you say, oh, there's a company called Tiger, and they make pain relief patch, and it's called Tiger Patch because it's different accessories that you can use, or it's different patch that you can put on your body in order to relieve pressure or relax your muscles. And this brand is already working on people in terms of the heat that it generates, the smell that it generates, something like this. So it's already something about being doing something to your body, so it gets some kind of relief or something like that. And that's essentially what that concept of the shoe does. And therefore, we notice that this brand is starting to develop some clothing that helps you with your posture, or some clothing that helps you with when you walk or do things. It helps you keep some of the muscles warm and some of the area tight on your body, so you avoid injuries or whatever. That brand will be perfect. They don't have any shoes, so it's not a shoe brand, but they are working on some of the same benefit that grounded earthing shoes is doing, and therefore it goes in the same vein of benefit, and it just adds benefit by bringing the earthing shoe concept to their existing line of products. So do I have you to sort of understand what you're trying to do, and therefore you have to do research. You have to do research by looking at what is the benefit of the earthing shoes, and what brand, but not brand, but what other products will benefit from adding these this feature or this new product in their portfolio, which would have the same vein of features and benefits. Yes, Lexi.
Yeah, just at the beginning of class, I remember you mentioning the difference between a tactical opportunity or a strategic opportunity.
Yes.
I know you were kind of in the middle of talking about strategic opportunities when someone else asked a question about the quiz. I was just wondering if you could give an example of each.
Exactly. Okay, so a strategic opportunity, so a strategic opportunity for your it's like if you were to find that kids from the age of 0 to 4 years old are the more negatively impacted by a lack of connection with Earth. So, according to the Harvard Pediatric Medical Department, so it's like Harvard, you know, it's big on medicine, it's probably the most prestigious university in America, and they have a pediatric department, and then you find that they state that the people that are the most affected from not being grounded are the younger people. So I'm making up this, all right? They do not state this because it's an invention. But let's say the old people are affected, the young people are affected, but the younger you are, the more you're affected from being disconnected. So therefore, pediatricians are recommending parents of kids, you know, toddlers of less than infants and toddlers of less than 4 years old, to get them to walk barefoot as often as possible in order to get some balance and connection with Earth and all of these different things. So you find this and you put this in your opportunities. Is this a tactical or strategic opportunity? What do you think?
It sounds strategic.
Yeah, so it will be strategic. Strategic are opportunities that lead to big things. So this one is a big thing because it leads to a business decision that is sizable. So here the decision you could take is to say, then you think, how many people are making shoes, grounded shoes? How many brands are making grounded shoes? How many brands are making grounded shoes actually? How many have you found? Anyone?
We found like 4 or 5.
4 or 5. So let's say there's 5. Out of these 5, how many are making shoes for 3 years old? None, right? 0. Now, if you find that medical research, which is not made for people that make grounded shoes, they just medical research, it's the newest thing, just published a month ago. says that walking barefoot is necessary for everybody because that gives you health benefits, but more so the younger you are. And in fact, from 0 to 4, it's critical. That becomes an opportunity. And essentially, it tells you that someone who's making shoes for kids, for little toddlers, should be making them with the feature of being grounded, or the 5 brands that make grounded shoes should create a model for the 0 to 4 years old. Do you follow that? That decision for a business is not a small decision. This is a big decision because in the world of business, it's called a segmentation and target decision, which will be requiring to say, should we make it just for boys or girls? Should we make it in different sizes or just one size? Should we make it one model fancy, model more simpler, or should we just make one average model? I mean, it's not a small decision. Now, to look at a small decision, so you can see in perspective, is you read that in Los Angeles, in 2022, in June 2022, they will have a shoes convention. Los Angeles will have their first shoes trade show convention in Long Beach, California. Is that an opportunity? Yeah. Is that a big deal? Does that change how you do business? Like creating a new model for a new target? No, that's small. The fact that there's a convention in Los Angeles and there was none before, that before the convention was in New York and Chicago, and now it's going to be New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. And that's in the news. It's a change in the environment. It's an opportunity, but it's a small opportunity. It's not like a big thing. Next Monday, you will supply to me your report, your first draft. I will have lots of examples of, because people make this mistake, they create opportunities that are mostly tactical. It's a lot easier to create tactical opportunities than it is to create strategic opportunities. Yet, you want to focus on having strategic opportunities. So you should not give up because you say we can only think about strategic, and therefore we have been thinking about 5 or 6 tactical opportunities. Therefore, we'll put nothing. Tactical opportunities are better than nothing. Nothing is the worst. The next thing is mostly tactical, and then the ideal is mostly strategic. So can you run a business just on tactical opportunities? No, you can't, because it means it's very short, detail oriented. You know, it's like, I mean, for example, in my industry, people prefer taller bottle than smaller bottle, according to bottle.com in 2021, right? So taller bottle is preferred. So, you know, that's if you have a taller bottle, or if you develop bottles, new models of bottles, you should sort of direct yourself towards taller bottles. But that doesn't mean that taller will automatically work better. It's just a detail. It's something that will become a strength for you if you had a taller bottle. But having a taller bottle doesn't make you automatically successful. It's a small detail, right? What are other one I can give you? The typical one. People buy more clothing and shoes on Black Fridays. No. Black Fridays is the most the day where shoes are the most purchased in the year. Is that an opportunity? Yeah. Oh, we're going to put that. Professor is going to be happy. That's an opportunity. Yeah, but it's a tactical opportunity, which means that you're going to make sure that you do something on Black Fridays, the one day, one weekend in the year, you know, to have a special promo or a special message. But that does not change your business. It's a small details. In the 365 days of the year, Black Friday is only one day. Having some kind of plan for that one day makes it tactical and not strategic. So what's strategic again? Strategic is an opportunity which has an outcome which is directly related to a strategy. So what are strategies? New product development. So that's why if the 0 to 4 years old are the people that need the most to have their foot on the ground in order to get the health benefits, that makes you create that new product. So it is new product development. Or you could say it's also market development, because we just talked about the 5 companies that make those shoes, but of these 5, none of them focus on that specific group. By focusing on a specific group, you will have market development. So market development is a strategy. New product development is a strategy. So an opportunity that directly generates a strategy is a strategic opportunity. An opportunity that directly generates a tactic is a tactical opportunity. Black Fridays is the day where people mostly buy shoes. The day that is the largest compared to any other day. The outcome of this is to have a 15% off on Black Friday in order to sell more. Giving people 50% off on Black Friday, it's not a strategy, that's a tactic. That's why that opportunity was only tactical. So year after year, having done this for 26 years, do students after a month and a half are very confident at looking at opportunities and guessing if they are strategic or tactical? No, I would say 30% of the students sort of do that with confidence, you know, and 70% are confused. So how do we fix that? Well, you need to do a draft. In your draft, you will have some feedback, you know. So the first thing is, if you have no opportunities, it's going to be difficult. If you have opportunities, but in your opportunity section, most of what you have are strengths, then we're just going to tell you these are strengths, not opportunities. But it's very likely that you will have a bunch of tactical opportunities. So we have to tell you, should we rank the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats? Yes, you should rank them. So that way we can see, what can we see? If inside the opportunity section you have tactical opportunities, it's okay. But it's not okay is if you put only tactical opportunities, or if you put the tactical opportunities first and the strategic opportunities later, or if it's all mixed together, because it's going to give the indication that you don't see what's broader and more long-term and has more incidence and implication versus what has less incidence, what's more detailed. So thank you, Lexi, for your question, because that's you know, the best way is you want to write all of these things. You do the best thing you can, and then you have all the team members that review the section to make sure that that everyone has an input, and also everyone has reviewed sort of these elements. You know, are the SW internal? So the strengths and weaknesses, there's not a lot you can do for the most part, I think. Why? Because for the most part, most of you have not identified a brand yet, right? Since identifying a brand can only be the outcome of having identified additional opportunities. So what's the project about? You are to convince a brand of your choosing that they should adopt the earthing concept, because you have to identify opportunities that support this concept. So I've already started that. I give you the opportunities, the way to start that. You will show, therefore, a SWOT analysis, a strategies, and their recommendation for the earthing shoes concept. The brand you choose to give the report to will be a brand that aligns with your ideas in some way. You will have to explain in what ways it aligns. So I sort of gathered this text from an exchange with one student that was asking me, should I phrase what we're supposed to do? So I very much got inspired from our exchange. Ideas that you have to align have to be supported by additional strategic opportunities. So that's what I was talking about. Like if you identify that there's some medical research that talks about younger kids having to have to be using not using shoes all the time, which once combine these new strategic opportunities with just the mere fact of the grounded shoes, will give an argument for a brand to become more competitive. So you think about additional opportunities to the grounded shoes. You make a combination with this becomes your idea, the story that you have. Then you think about the brand that would be the recipient of this story, the best brand that would fit that. And then you have your full story. Then it's completing the report is very easy. You will research these companies' mission statements and their positioning, maybe their targets. And then based on your ideas and opportunities and how they align with this company, you select it. Your intention with your report is to convince this brand to design and make an earthing shoes. That company does not have to be a company that already makes shoes. It can be just a company that is in a market that is related to the benefits, that would benefit from the benefit of those earthing shoes, and having the target that would want to get these earthing shoes. And then by having this new product in their portfolio, or this product with these additional benefits, they will have more competitiveness. Okay. Do you have any questions? Yes, go ahead, Paulette.
Yeah, Professor, this question is more about submission. So should one person only submit the project?
Yes,
or everyone?
exactly.
Oh.
Yes, just one person. So it'd be through Canvas. I will create a link, and then just one person per group. So remember to do this, because I will share this draft. At the end, the papers are going to be read by me and by Eric Dimitrak. But for the draft, we're going to share them. And for the purpose of giving you feedback as soon as possible. Hopefully we can give it to you. If you give us on Monday, we'll be able to give you a feedback the following week. Yes, so yeah. Any other questions?
Professor?
Yes.
Is 3 strategic options okay?
Well, 3 is
or is it too much?
No, it's too little.
Okay.
Yeah, it's too little. So you will see.
Do you have like a limit?
There's no limit. If you look at the template or the samples, you will see that some people have more than 12 opportunities.
Okay.
And so when you have that many, you don't have the space in the 10 pages report. So what you do is you create an appendix, which is called, the detailed opportunities. And there you have 12. And inside the reports, where the pages are limited to 10, is you put, brief opportunities or something, or top 5 opportunities. So then you only put 5 in there. And then those top 5, they will be the 5 first opportunities inside the appendix, which has the detailed, right? And then there will be 6, 7, 8 on all, but the 6, 7, 8 will not appear in the paper. So you don't want to think that there's limitations to the opportunities. You want to think that you have freedom with these opportunities, but concentrate on opportunities that are more strategic than tactical. Yes, Alison.
Okay.
Thank you.
Got it.
Have you posted the template sample yet, or will you post it soon?
This one, no, this one this one is, if you look, it's the one from Crystal. I'm using the one with the crystals because it's so the text I just read, I just did this work on this morning and this afternoon. So I will send this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send this one as an email to everyone in the class. If not today, tomorrow. And that way, at least people are sort of, don't have to go even in Canvas, because I have the feeling that everybody went into Canvas to look for the samples. And so sometimes I just have to pick one, and I'm going to send it to everybody. And so that way everybody has seen at least one sample. And maybe that makes it. Yes, Alison, go ahead.
No, that was it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'll send it either probably tomorrow, this one. I'm sort of working on it. I have, oh yeah, another thing that I say, because that's going to come. That sample, I made it very obvious. On page 10, I put, delete this message. This is page 10. So eventually in the final report, you don't have to have this, but to remind people how many pages, because people will still ask me how many pages are in the report. So I made it pretty obvious here. It's 10. However, if you look here, it says page 13. So what is going on? Because the cover pages do not count. So it's 10 pages just for the body of the report. Like the appendix and the references do not count. So this is additional. So I mean, some people have 3 pages of references, and some people have 25 pages of appendices. So cover page appendices do not count for the 10 pages. It is common that reports have 10 pages or more of appendix. It's very common for the appendix to be longer than the report. And the appendix that are going to be inside the templates, if you look at the appendix in the templates, not everything applies. It depends on the subject that you have. Not everything, so you don't have to replicate every one of these appendices. Sometimes they do not apply. They are just there to inspire you, for you to sort of get ideas of what could be in the appendices. Okay. Yes, I have an hand up. And it's a lady. I'm not sure who you are. I can't see the name.
Yeah, I have a question.
Arshia. Yes.
What is your expectation on the rough draft?
Well, my expectation is, because I've done this many times, is that there's going to be people that are going to do 6 pages. Some people are going to do 1 page. My expectation is it's sort of it's a hanging fruit. You do what you want. I do not grade it. It's a draft. It is just so that way we can give you some feedback. So I would hope that you have at least the opportunities and the threats, for example. If you have less than that, then there's not much I can do to help you. It is very rare that someone doesn't submit something. It's voluntary, but for some reason, I think every time we have drafts, people take advantage of it, but there's different quality within the drafts. There's 31 drafts that are going to be given to me. I would not be surprised that there's 5 that look pretty finished. So then we're going to give them feedback. These people are going to get an A because they're already sort of finished. We're only going to polish. There's going to be 10 that are very, very, very rough. You know, like very few opportunities. Everything is tactical. And then there's going to be a 20 or something like this, 18, 17 that are going to be in various stages. If you can already start looking at the strategies and give us some strategies, that would be great. But I don't have any expectation. I only have recommendation.
Okay, so it's not going to be graded?
No, it's not graded. This is just a non-graded draft to allow everyone to get some feedback. I do this because there's a lot of people that have good intention, but for some reason they procrastinate till 2 weeks before it's due. And then when there's 2 weeks due and they get serious about it, then it's a difficult exercise. Right now, it's not that difficult, but 2 weeks before it's due, it becomes very difficult. So to help the procrastinator on, you know, I'm just sort of suggesting, and since everybody takes advantage, it will not be a surprise if I tell you it's very poor, there's a lot of work, and you all know by 2 weeks, then it's not a surprise. You need to jump in and do the work. So that's the purpose of this. It's just it's a wake-up call and sort of directions in order to help you get the best grade as you can by pushing you to start doing the work, not 2 weeks before it's due, right? I'm just being honest. That's what it is.
Thank you.
So there's nothing to lose from this. It's only a benefit if you take advantage of it. And it's going to allow you, because you see a lot of people are going to work this week. That's why I didn't put it due at the same time as the quiz. A lot of people are going to work this week. I know a lot of people are trying to meet with Eric. I know a lot of people are sending me email. I got like quite a few today of people asking me things about the report and all that. So everyone is interested to do well, and it's a great exercise. Don't invest in yourself. It's you. I warranty that in 1, 2, 3 years after you graduated, you will send me a message on LinkedIn telling me that you are still thinking about this project and sort of using this project in your weekly business life, because that's what people do in business. They fall into an opportunity and then they go, wow, this is good. What should I do with it? I just run into it. What do I do? You see, you will run into more opportunities that you can take advantage of. And therefore, you have to think about, once you run into them, what is it that you can do with it? And that's the life of a business person. Okay. I think Yair at his end, I think it's ease.
Yeah, hi, Professor. So
Hi.
are we advising the company to produce earthing shoes in the strategic options section?
Yes, very likely. So new product development as a strategy, I mean, it's very likely to be one of them, right? Now, when I was using the babies before, the 0 to 4 years old, that's going to be a combine. So you're going to have 2 strategies. If you look in the option right now, I can go and show you. I have them right here. And this is in Canvas already. And what are you looking at right now? Is sometimes you have 2 strategies like this one. Strategic option 1, I'm putting it in blue. And you have 2 underlined. You have differentiate and focus strategies. So sometimes you have 2 strategies. So for a company that is already doing, so if you say Babies R Us, who is making their own shoes, should be making a grounded shoes for babies. That would be new product development. If you're taking a brand of grounded shoes, and you say that they should be making grounded shoes for babies, it would be new product development, because they don't do that, and they don't do anything for babies. It would be market development. So it's possible that sometimes you do two strategies at the same time. It's okay. That's why they're called strategic option 1, strategic option 2, because inside that little paragraph, there could be multiple strategies done at the same time. Obviously, the more strategies you do at the same time, the more your business is complicated. So having a combination of let's say, more than 3 strategies inside an option becomes a kind of, it's a complex. It has too many moving pieces, so it's complicated. But 2, 3 can happen. Does that answer your question? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. What about Trevor?
Hi, Professor. Sorry,
Hi.
if you answered this already, sorry, I was still taking the test, but where are we submitting this?
So it will
rough draft?
be in Canvas, and it's
Okay.
1 per person. I haven't
I-
set up in Canvas yet, but I will send an
okay.
email.
Okay, thank you. And then do you prefer it to be in Microsoft Word or another format?
I prefer it to be in PDF, in Adobe
Yeah.
PDF, yes. And the reason is that way, for sure, I will get it the way you wanted me to get it. There will be no, software issue or whatever. Because PDF, everybody reads it the same way, so it's like if you insert a table somewhere, it's not going to get messed up. Because sometimes different software, different this and that, I know it happened. With PDF, the way you save it is the way everybody universally can see it. So that's why I recommend PDF. In addition, PDF allows for saving it into a smaller version. So that's important. People that have 10 pages, 20 pages of appendices, the document is oftentimes huge, like 12 megabytes and all that. If they use Word, 20 megabytes, and you can't email 20 megabytes. It's very awkward. I guess you can put it on Canvas, but then it makes it for a very heavy, large document. If you save it as a PDF, it's going to be probably 4 times smaller, and therefore it's easier to manipulate. So that's why I recommend a PDF.
Okay, thank you, Professor.
And that recommendation is not a recommendation from me, a seasoned professor. That's also a recommendation when you do business. When you email a bunch of people and your email is very heavy because you have a large document, the people don't like that too much. And it takes a long time. Sometimes because of this, it gets into the junk mail and all this. So saving things in lighter formats is just good practice. All right. Any other questions? All right. So yes, next week, work on it this week. I'll get the link on Canvas. I will let you know. And then when we come back next week, we will continue with the lecture. Normally next week, there's a past student that is using what I learned in this class. And I said it was super useful. And he just thanked me and all of this. And I said, you know what, it would be great if you could come to class. And I think the students will really like the fact that you're a recent student and you're using all of these things and you're being successful because you're using all of these things. I think they will like to hear it from you. And he said, of course, I'll come to class next week. So he confirmed, but I need to check again because he works now, that he's still available, because he told me he had to take some time off in order to come, but from 4 to 4:20. And normally he's going to come. And that way you can see the things that I'm teaching you here is not just so that way I can get you to be busy at doing something. It's something that people who are in business and have to make decision to grow the business have to do it all the time. If it's not every day, to be honest, I mean, they don't do all of this every day, but there's a lot of what's inside here that they have to do every day, because you have to think about who are your customers, if there's an evolution, who are your competitors, if there's an evolution, what are the trends and changes, if there's evolution, what are the opportunities, that's so that way you can keep developing things in order to stay closer to your trajectory of success. All right. Have a great week, and I will see you next week.
Professor, I have a question.
Thank you, Professor. Have a nice week.
Thank you.
Have a nice week.
Yes, you too.
Thank you, Professor. Have a good one.
Professor, I have a question before you leave.
Thank you,
Yes.
Professor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
So go ahead with your question.
Can you check number 27 on the test? Because I just read like the book and stuff, and I got it wrong, but it's the only one that's making sense. It's
Concentrated.
concentrated targeting. Yeah, sorry.
So concentrated targeting is when you have multiple targets for one product.
Oh, okay. Then what's the correct answer?
Also, I don't have the question in front of me,
I
but
think it's
let me see.
differentiated, I think.
Well, it didn't make sense to me for some reason. I don't know why.
There was one question though, Professor, that had two of the same answers to it. I think it was
Yeah,
number
yeah. I thought
Okay.
15, yes. So
I came a little late, so
yes, no problem. I address that. So I will give people credit for this one because I saved it, but the computer wanted me to save twice in order to make it inside. But the question of differentiated, concentrated, all that, I'm not
You
sure.
want me to read the question for you?
Which number was it? We have them in different number. Oh yeah, if you can read it, it's good.
If a company is making a specific product for a unique target, its targeting strategy is called
Differentiated.
Okay. Can you explain why real quick?
So this is very important. It's simple. Differentiated. And this is not something you learn just for the quiz. That's for the rest of your life. It's one of these things the rest of your life. If you're in marketing, which you are, right? It's Jennifer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you make a product, you make it for one person. One product, one person. So it's like a 0 to 4 years old brand of grounded shoes. That's differentiated. But then you say, you know what? I'm going to make grounded shoes for anyone. Man, woman, old, young. That's undifferentiated.
Okay.
Then concentrated is if you say, you know what? I'm going to make grounded shoes and they are flip-flops. Flip-flop grounded shoes. And the flip-flops are just a white shoe with a copper, and the thing that goes around your toe is black. Is it for men, women? No, it's for two groups, men and women from 30 to 40 years old. So it's two targets.
Okay.
Men and women for two groups. Okay. And that would be concentrated.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
So for example, an airline is differentiated. They have the first class, the business class. So it's one service for the first class, one service for the business class, one service for the coach class. But if they were to make one service, and it's not called first class and business class, but it's called star class, that would be concentrated. Is they putting these two groups together because they're trying to make it cheaper.
Okay.
So concentrated is you grouping multiple targets together, and you know it's not perfect, but they're still okay with this. Differentiated, it's one specific, it's unique, and undifferentiated is one for all, and no differences.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Professor?
Yes.
I have a quick question regarding the rough draft we have to submit on Monday.
Yes.
So do you want us to have the reference page in there as well, or no?
As much as you want.
Or as much as we want?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's no limitation and there's no expectation.
Okay, so whatever we have up
Whatever
to
you
that
have.
point, you want us to submit
If
it?
your group is already well ahead, why don't you put it in? If your group is sort of behind, at least do the opportunities.
Yeah, we have a good amount of it done already, so.
So yeah, if you have a long opportunities and all this, if you have, obviously if you have long opportunities, you're gonna have lots of references and lots of appendices. Put it in there already. You know,
Okay.
Save it as a PDF, and then we'll look at it. To be honest, is when we see a long PDF, it's more work, but we're happy because we go, man, we can really help these people. And that's the objective here. The
Mhm.
less there is, the less we can help you.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Bye, everybody. Have a good night.
Excuse me, I have a question.
You too, Professor.
Yes, go ahead.
Regarding the opportunities, if we use a website that has referred to an opportunity, can we refer to that one, or it should be in our own words?
No, you should refer with the link to the website.
Okay, I should refer and then I should include my
Yeah.
own, correct?
What you should, it's very simple. Look at the template. And the one I'm going to send, which I have here, is very, as a direct answer to this. You can see in the reference list, there's the website. So just put the website and the date, and then you just refer to the website and the date to the
Okay, got it.
author. I mean, the website is what people are using the most now.